Signs that you should give up on your relationship. This is the topic I want to develop here with you in this video. Firstly, how are you guys? I hope so. If you are enjoying the videos here on the channel and are not yet subscribed, take the opportunity to subscribe and activate the bell to receive our notifications. Guys, let's agree on one thing: no one is forced to be with anyone. In fact, we stay with someone because we like it, because we want it. That's how it is, at least that's how it should be, but many people insist on staying in failed, disproportionate, unequal relationships, for various reasons, out of comfort, out of fear, for the sake of their children. But when it's really time for us to leave a relationship, for us to give up, end it, there are many signs. Today we're going to talk about signs that you should give up on your relationship. The signs: when there is no more affection in the relationship, be careful with the other person. If you don't look at each other tenderly, you no longer feel like giving a hug, a kiss, sleeping in each other's arms, each one turns to their side and snores, each one turns to their side and sleeps. If not, spend time together watching a movie and making some popcorn, laughing. This doesn't happen anymore. So, this is one of the signs that, added to several others, obviously, we realize that it is time to get out of the relationship. When the dialogue ends, and I think this is one of the crucial points in communication, it ends, that's terrible. You no longer look each other in the eye, you no longer open up to each other, you no longer express your discontent, and this prevents the other person from reflecting on their conduct, the way they are acting towards you. He doesn't have that chance, because we always think that the other person has to notice, which is making us upset or irritated. But sometimes people don't realize it. We have to talk, even to give each other a chance to review, evaluate, and try to do things differently. There are also people who, when they don't say anything, will say that this is a very feminine characteristic. They worry when a woman stops talking, but there are also men who act like this. They don't talk, men, get angry, hold everything back, then when they get here, then it ends, then they let the love die. It's because you didn't give the other a chance to improve, to respect you. Well, there's nothing to say about that. When it was over, it was really over. You go over your partner, you say you keep your commitments, you no longer give satisfaction for anything, you arrive late, you leave, you don't say where you're going. It offends the person, humiliates, disregards. In fact, this is one of the biggest signs that the relationship is over. Routine: when we leave that practical, bureaucratic part of life, taking up a lot of space, because we will always have bills to pay, debts, problems with the children, and many things can happen. When we let this routine swallow up the couple's relationship, then the marriage really changes. There's no way not to have a routine, people. A long-lasting relationship has routine, but who told you that routine is a bad thing? We can do very nice things routinely with the person we love. You can do a sport together once a week, you can have a day where you go to the cinema, or go for a walk, you can take dance classes, which is a nice thing. Establishing pleasant routines, dating, maintaining that spark, whether it's that pleasant thing, where you dedicate one night or another to talk, a special dinner, or putting out a candle, those things that we do when we date, we want to conquer. And after we get married, we let other events swallow us up, forgetting about it in our daily lives. Maintaining vanity: when we stop maintaining vanity, marriage shakes, both for women and men. We have to fix it for ourselves. Get ready for yourself first, always. Because there's no way to be horny with an old pair of shorts, full of ointment on your face, or a politician's t-shirt with holes in it. This is nice, but we stop taking this care of each other. Take a nice bath, apply a nice cream, and in that perfume, prepare yourself for the other person, because first you prepared yourself for yourself. Take pleasure in being well, feel good, smelling good, soft. Women also like men who have vanity, you know? The man is super visual, he pays a lot of attention to the woman. The woman has to look pretty, she has to look hot, but he, with that belly, that big belly. They don't see that, you be careful. Taking advantage of this, guys, look, we're even going to promote something funny that sometimes turns into a dramatic, horny shot. Excessive intimacy is complicated, be careful with that. Because when this happens, you become careless and neglect your partner. Establishing pleasant routines, dating, maintaining that spark, whether it's that pleasant thing, where you dedicate one night or another to talk, a special dinner, or putting out a candle, those things that we do when we date, we want to conquer. And after we get married, we let other events swallow us up, forgetting about it in our daily lives. Maintaining vanity, when we stop maintaining vanity, marriage shakes, both for women and men. We have to fix it for ourselves. Get ready for yourself first, always. Because there's no way to be horny with an old pair of shorts, full of ointment on your face, or a politician's t-shirt with holes in it. This is nice, but we stop taking this care of each other. Take a nice bath, apply a nice cream, and in that perfume, prepare yourself for the other person, because first you prepared yourself for yourself. Take pleasure in being well, feel good, smelling good, soft. Women also like men who have vanity, you know? The man is super visual, he pays a lot of attention to the woman. The woman has to look pretty, she has to look hot, but he, with that beer belly, that big belly. They don't see that, you be careful. Taking advantage of this, guys, look, we're even going to promote something funny that sometimes turns into a dramatic, horny shot. Excessive intimacy is complicated, be careful with that. Because when this happens, you become careless and neglect your partner. When we date, we don't do anything in front of our boyfriend or girlfriend. But once you get home, after a certain amount of time, it's actually nice. At first, that intimacy, then he starts using the bathroom with the door open, he starts burping, he starts farting. Guys, be serious, this is a shot in the arm. After a loud burp, you don't feel like kissing, or giving? So these are precautions that we have to take when we have excessive intimacy. This shouldn't happen, we have to maintain a certain mystery, we have to have a certain reserve with our hygiene. I think this goes without saying, but I notice this a lot and I receive this complaint a lot. That's why this whole tip is to be desired, we need to want it, we need to be on track, we need to be cool with ourselves. So then we become desirable, because we want each other, this is very important. Everything passes through us first, and that is not selfish. Sex is very important in a relationship, but it is not the main thing in a relationship, you know? He won't hold back and keep love. If everything else is bad, it is an illusion to think that if sex is good, marriage is good. No, it's not true. Now, if everything else is good, sex gets better, because it's a conjunction of things. There's no point in having something nice, having a good date, having sexual fulfillment with your partner, and then on a daily basis insulting each other, disrespecting each other. So there's no way sex can sustain all of this. If it's not good vertically, it's no use horizontally. It's something for you to pay attention to. Sex is good, you have to seduce, and it's not just with your sensuality, but with affection, and care, with the concern you have for the other. Loyalty, of course, this is one of the biggest signs that the relationship is over. A breach of trust is very difficult to repair, but it is not impossible either. But the problem with infidelity, besides it itself, is obviously that the person who cheats, he doesn't just cheat on his partner, he cheats on himself. Because she compromises her own loyalty, she compromises what she set out to live with another person, she deceives them, she loses her peace, she takes away transparency from the relationship, from her own conscience, and it becomes difficult to live with a person who is not true to herself. Firstly, if a person is not true to themselves, how will they be to others? And this leads to loss of admiration, which is another sign that the relationship is over. When you stop admiring the person you love, admiration is a very important thing in a relationship. Admiration for the way a person is, what they think, how they act at work, in life, how they position themselves in life. And with infidelity, the admiration really ends, she loses a lot. The aggressiveness. Aggressiveness speaks for itself. Aggressive behaviors, stupidity, violence, destroy any love for others and for oneself. The heart chooses who we will love, but we have to use our reason to know who we have to stay with. If there is no return on investment, it is only on one side or on neither side, then it will end up paying off. How do you do it? How do you live in a relationship if neither of you invests in it? We need balance, there has to be reciprocity, it has to be proportional. The relationship is an exchange, so there has to be proportion. When it is an exchange, there has to be proportion. Both parties have to invest in the relationship. How many times do you cry? How many times do you feel sad in your relationship, in your marriage, unmotivated, alone? Isn't it customary to have that person even if you don't have one? Haven't you gotten tired of seeing partners who don't even look at each other? They're on their cell phones in the restaurant, they don't talk, they don't have a dialogue, they don't see eye to eye? Do you consider the end of the relationship a failure? Many people stay in failed relationships because giving up is a horrible feeling of failure. Could a defeat at the end of a relationship, acknowledging and ending it, be an opportunity for you to review yourselves, reevaluate yourselves, take a break, take stock? You may even tie with this person, or meet someone else, but these are opportunities, they are cycles that close. When we keep insisting, we don't want to let go of something that's hurting us, our hand starts to bleed, so we need to assess whether it's over. If it's come to an end, it's because one of you got lost along the way, stopped investing in one another. The relationship is for two, therefore, it needs both, it is 50% of each. Are you taking what was good? But if not, look at now, you can't keep reviewing what was good. We are not obliged to endure everything, patience has a limit, and if you are enduring a lot of things, it is another sign that things are not going well, because the relationship is to be lived, to be felt, it is not to be endured. We only tolerate what is really bad, that's why self-knowledge is a very important thing in our lives, because you know clearly and with certainty your limits, what you don't want in your life, what you don't allow someone else to do it for you, and we only have that when we get to know each other. Finally, we just insist that there is love, it's a two-way street, okay? I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope it was useful, and you, take heart. If it doesn't work out, finish it. In this idea, it is this opportunity, and it can also be a crisis, so evaluate your relationship, your feelings, and if there is the possibility of continuing, good luck. If not, move on, okay? A big kiss to you, share, like, and subscribe to the channel. A kiss for you, and see you next time. Goodbye.